Big Rip is a card game which sees players compete head-to-head to build and protect the biggest tombstone. Each round sees players be able to place 2 pillars, which are folded cards, and a card to rest on top. It is important to note that players can choose to position these pillars any way they would like, and they need not necessarily add a layer to their own tombstone each round. This allows for sabotage gameplay, but may also mean that players sacrifice height to their individual tombstone as well. Each pack of Big Rip cards includes building cards mixed with specialty cards, karma penalty cards, structural pillar cards, Big Rip token, and a lifetime counter, the latter of which is used to keep track of what round gameplay has entered. The game is set up with all items in the center of the area of play, so all players can see each other's tombstones and have equal access to the deck as well. Elements of randomness are added to the game, with each deck being shuffled and then each player being dealt 5 cards to have in their hand, and an element of mystery is also added because players don't show these cards that they have in their hand to any of the other players until used. Cards that players have in their hand include a mixture of normal and specialty cards, with these specialty cards having a number of various functions within the game. The specialty cards include Force 1 Pillar, where a player is forced to use only 1 pillar card as opposed to 2 to add a layer to their tower, destabilizing it. Double Put Down, where a player is able to put down twice the number of layers that they normally would in a round. Steal from Tombstone sees players take a layer from someone else's tombstone, and they can either add it to their own or to someone else's to further destabilize it as well. Steal from Hand allows a player to steal a card from another person's hand of their choosing. Swap with Deck is a card that allows players to gain some intel about what is left in the pile for other players to pick up, and also allow them to refresh their own hand at the same time. The Block card allows a player to prevent another player from using their specialty card. Specialty cards are one-time use, so once used, they are discarded in the middle of play, face up for all to see. The mixture of active and passive specialty cards is intentional, for it allows for multiple styles of gameplay to be successful. There are penalty cards called karma cards as well, which are awarded if a player infringes by deliberately destroying another player's tombstone or using an active specialty card against another. Karma penalty cards come into effect at the end of round 10 when gameplay has finished, and they drastically alter the end results of the game, with effects including but not limited to halving the height of one's tombstone and swapping it with a player of another's choosing. There also exists the opportunity for mature audiences and older adult players to swap out or modify the rules here to include truth or dare scenarios as karma penalties instead of physical tombstone related effects. As such, the karma cards act as retribution for one's acts during the game, and in terms of the emergent story, really show that what goes around comes around, and who you step on to get up to the top may kick you when you come down again later on. All in all, that's life, and it's a big rip.